Dear children, welcome you all. In the last session, we studied about Ram Mohan Roy, oppression, then dissatisfaction. In today's class, we are going to study about sparks. See, what is that sparks? It is happened in the year 1855 to 1857. Then, revolt. What is it? Revolt. The ninth one is about the fight for freedom, 1857. So let us study about in detail about these things. As you can see here, the sparks in the year 1855 to 57. Taxes continued to ruin the peasants in Bengal, the Santlas, who had lost their lands under new and rules, became desperate. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and masquerade Europeans and their supporters alike. Say it is nothing but sparks, which is the reason to happen the first war of independence. So what is that spark here? Taxes continue to ruin the peasants. Here peasants is nothing but farmers. The person who grow crops. So heavy taxes are imposed on farmers. So when they fail to pay, immediately they are taking their lands. In this way, British people making their administration. In Bengal, what happens? The Santalas who had lost their lands under new land rules. Santalas and a family, it's about farmer's family, no? They lost their lands just because of these new rules which is introduced by British people. In this way, became desperate. So who desperate? Santalas. Santalas, they are desperate. Very sad about their lands when they lost. In 1855, they rose in rebellion and masquerade Europeans and their supporters alike. So who rebellion? Santalas rebellion. Rose in rebellion. They got angry about that British rule and all. Then masquerade Europeans and their supporters alike. When they started to hate British people, what is the impact is happened? So that is, it is presented in the form of masquerade. Masquerade in the sense kill a large number of people along with Europeans and their supporters alike. Similarly, European and others people also killed in this particular struggle. So this is what the spark which has happened. Then discontent was brewing in the East India Company's army too. So what is that discontent? Dissatisfaction. So dissatisfaction was brewing, is happening where? In the East India Company's army too. See, earlier we talked about farmer and all. Now we have to talk about army. So what happened in this army? The soldiers and all. Here you can notice the white soldiers get huge pay, mansions to live in servants. So white soldier is referring to British people who got job in this army. So they got huge salaries, the payment or mansions, the house which is provided to live with their family. Along with all this, they also got servants to work in their house. While we get a pittance, pittance and slow promotions. So their people were white and other soldiers. They were talking about their job, about their promotions and all. The Angrez asks us to cross the sea, which is against our religion. Who is the Topiwala to abolish our age-old customs? See, Indian army. I mean, the people who worked in army, they're Indians and also British people. In this way, they came to know about that British rule and they started to question British people or white men about their job and their customs and all. Here you can notice the picture and he says, so what is this? We must drive out the Angrez. He is talking about that he wanted to send the British off from the country. Sepoy Mangal Pandey attacked the adjutant of his regiment and was executed. You might have heard his name, Sepoy Mangal Pandey, who showed anger towards British people and who rose against British with great anger. This way, he was killed. I mean, in the explanation part, we could say that adjutant in the sense army officer who worked in the same army. Here, Mangal Pandey, he was the soldier were in the army. So he attacked on the army officer of his regiment in his administrative block. In this way, he broke the law in the field. That's why he was executed, killed just because of his wrongdoing. In this way, he was punished and killed. Thousands of other sepoys revolted. They were stripped of their uniforms. So this is the thing which is connected to do in this way reaction towards the army and all. The people who worked were in this army, so they also started to against British, and they started to come to protest against British people. Few Englishmen had cared to understand Indian customs or the people's mind. Few Englishmen. So they came to think about Indian people and their customs and all. They started to understand the mindset of Indian people. So how it is? Here is given. Oh, proud Brahmin soldiers, do you know that the grease on the bullet you have to bite is made from the fat of cows and pigs? So someone is talking about that, their religious aspect. So Brahmin people, as you can see here, they won't eat meat. But the man who came and sat in front of him, he is going to give awareness regarding their religious customs. Why? Because Brahmin people who joined the army group and all, they have to bite the bullet which is made up of fat of cows and pigs. So it is highly impossible to bite this fat. In this way, Brahmin listened his words and he reacted. What? At the same time, the white man has deceived us too. Who said? Here you can notice Muslim who came there and he also matched his words with them. Why? Because white man deceived, cheated. Cheated to whom? Deceived us, both Brahmin and Muslims. Why? Because there are two animals, cows and pigs. Cows, see, Hindu people don't eat cows and all. Similarly, so Muslim they won't eat pigs. So this is what that message is going to give to them. In this way, Indian people who started to against British, because when it is come to their religious customs, see British people they came to make the religion divine. Soon chapatis were sent from village to village to tell the people that their emperor would want their servants, their services. So chapati that is the food, and it is provided to villagers from village to village in order to take their attention towards whom? Their emperor. So their emperor who has kingdom before British rule. And here these people worked as a mediator in order to connect all the people to emperor. Similarly, lotus flowers circulated among Indian soldiers, death to the foreigner. So lotus flower is a kind of message which they wanted to spread among Indian people to give awareness about that British rule, and they are circulated among soldiers, Indian soldiers. The masses gave all help and shelter to the patriots. Patriots, the person who loved the country. Yes, revolt. Then what is it about revolt? Revolt. So against. So we can say that revolt against British. They wanted to struggle. They wanted to protest. So which has happened in the year 1857 is considered as the first world war of the first war of independence. Then there was a violent outbreak at Meerut. So at first, a violent break. So there is a struggle between British and Indian army. So wherein Meerut, which has happened at first. Then Sepoys marched to Delhi in order to meet King Bahadur Shah. Long live our Emperor Bahadur Shah. So people who tried to meet him and they wanted to accept him as their emperor. The rebellion spread wider. In this way, people to people, they were talking about British rule and they started to hate them, and they came to the decision to send from their country to their country. I mean, from India to England. In this way, many people who sat in the form of group to discuss about British rule, and they came to the plan to send the British from the country. Many landlords had lost their lands because of the British policies, and they were sure. The white man's rule must end. Somebody said, yes, we will help you. Landlords had lost their lands because of the British policies, and they were sore. Landlords, they're rich men were in the village, so they lost their lands because of British new policies and all. In this way, the people who met to discuss about British army and British rule, they came to know that yes, they have to send white man out from the country. So this is the right time to stop their administration. Got it? Then the fight for freedom. So in the year 1857, many former rulers like Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow were bitter. Why she is bitter? Why? Because she lost her power from British rule. The white man has taken away my kingdom. So they are thinking about your Begum Hazrat Mahal of Lucknow. She is one of the rulers in the country, and she is thinking about that. She lost her kingdom just because of British rule. Then, popular leaders like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad told the people. So later, the popular leader like Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faizabad. So what does he do is he came to encourage people who are ready to shake their hands to send the British from the country. So what is that motivation speech there? Rise, brothers, rise. The Angrez is ruining our land. In this way, he is going to inspire people who came in the form of group in order to send the British from the country. Immediately they motivated and they supported leaders. In this way, so we are going to having some kind of changes where in the field of fight for freedom. People rose everywhere in Bareilly, Kanpur and Allahabad. Allahabad, Bareilly, Kanpur is the places where in our country, there people they started to show their kind of awareness, and they came to the decision to make the country free from this British rule. Then Hazimullah Khan told Tatya Tope, somewhere here he is addressing Tatya Tope, we should have Peshwa Nana Sahib as a leader in this war of independence. Azimullah Khan is the leader who made the people aware regarding British rule, and he is going to talk with Tatya Tope about Nana Sahib, him or accept him as a leader of this war of independence. 80-year-old Kanwar Singh of Bihar received a bullet in his wrist. As you can notice, blood stains. Here, a king who is a Kanwar Singh who received bullet wherein his wrist just because of he against the British rule. Mother Ganga, this is my last offering to you. In this way, conversing, when he received bullet, he is addressing the river Ganga about his life is going to wind up. In this way, this lesson is completed. It is about a brief summary of the freedom movement in our country. So read once again the text thoroughly to understand each and every concept, and you have to connect the concept which you discussed. I hope you understood. Thank you so much for listening.